So what we have here is a 2025. This is a Ram 1500 Sport. It's a crew cab short box. It's in the brilliant black is what they call it. Just a gorgeous color. Probably one of our most popular colors that we have. Now, I don't think it'll show up today, but if you look at it in the bright, bright sun, there's like a little bit of a fleck in the paint. So it kind of got this little silver kind of a sparkle to it. Just looks really sharp. A couple things on the Sport. You'll notice across the front, you get the blacked out bumpers and the blacked out grill, so everything all matches up the same. You'll notice down below it's got the little park sensors too. Those are those little circles at the front of the bumper. This also has the camera system that looks all the way around, so it's got the built-in camera in the Ram. A little bit fancier than the standard Sports as well. This has got little extras, and we're going to try to point those out when we're doing the walk around. One of the things it does have is it's got the rain-sensitive wipers. So you can kind of see that little, not the little opening, but to the right of it, there's a little sensor up there. If it gets a little bit of water on it, your wipers will automatically wipe. And then down below, you got your lane keep assist with that. That's where the little heated little defrosters are there. So it kind of uses your adaptive cruise control, and it'll also tie in with that system, so it'll kind of keep you in your own lane when you're driving. Nice blacked out rims, so everything matches the truck. You've also got the mud flaps, the running boards. We also did a spray and bed liner on this one too, so it's all been done. That's a dealer installed accessory, but when you're looking at the pricing online, that's all included in it, but it's broken down separately because we did it after the vehicle landed. Inside we got leather seats, so instead of just think these are the full leather surfaces on them, they're nicely heated. They got the little perforations in it, that kind of stuff. Cool little touch screen here. I'm just gonna I'll leave the keys in here, but maybe, well, let's see if we can open it up and turn this on here. Show you a couple of the things that this truck will do. Turn the key on here. There we go. I just had to set the screen up so we can kind of see it a little bit better. I had it blacked out so it doesn't kind of get the pinkness. So sometimes you kind of see this pink hue there. I noticed, I don't know what it is, but if you do it with the darker screen, it doesn't get that pink effect. But what it does do is it makes it so you can't see this touch screen. Anyway, audio, you can control the stereo from here, your AM, FM. You can also watch videos. You can plug it into this HDMI port right here, play it off your cell phone or whatever you've downloaded. You can watch them there. HDMI cable, that's what you would do to hook it up. You can also activate your navigation, so you can access it through the touch screen. You can pair up your phones. You can look at the camera system if you want and see all the different camera angles. You can access all those from here, so your front screen, your back screen, all that kind of stuff. So it allows you to access all that stuff through the touchscreen. Now, just so you know, the driver can't see this screen, just the passenger can. But what's nice about it is you can go to this nav screen here, and you could search out your destination, and we could plug in where we want to go. Let's say we want to go to a restaurant, and it's going to show all the restaurants that are nearby, and we're going to go, well, the Vine's not around anymore. Let's go to A&W. It's 600 meters away, and this is how we're going to get there. So you just send it to the driver's screen now, and it'll show up on here so the driver could use that as their navigation. So it makes it like you can be a bit more of a co-pilot kind of thing, because when you're driving, you can't use that touch screen to punch in directions. So a couple cool things that has. You can also just turn it off so it's black like that as well. Better stereo system in this one. It's got the Harman Kardon. I think there's 19 speakers, so there's some here, there's some up there, there's some in the middle. Lots of great bass, that kind of stuff. So if you're cranking up the stereo, you can hear it nice and loud. In the back, you got the bench seat with a fold-down armrest. Those are the other floor mats that came with it. Those are the carpeted set. We also added the all-weather mats here too, so they're a little bit better for protection. You can kind of see how they go up and kind of mold into the wells a little bit better, protect the carpet. Also has the divider, so this is the standard setting. You can also take this little snap here, roll it over, and this will fold out like that, and now you got a little bit more storage area. So if you wanted to store like a jug of bug juice or something in there, you can just lay it in there, and it's not sliding all over the back of the cab when you hammer on the brakes. Also, these lift up underneath the floor mats. There's these little bins, and these are called your Ram bins for storage. These little trays come out, so you can haul them out if you want. Use that for, cleaning. If you spill stuff in there, you can clean it real easy. Put it back together when you're done. Great place to store gloves, tow ropes, anything you might need in your truck. Roadside safety kits are good ideas. If you travel on lots of rural, remote roads, might not be a bad idea to take a candle or two in there so you can keep yourself warm, that kind of stuff. So it's like a safety kit type stuff. So a good place to store all that. More speakers here now with the Harman Kardon. There's even speakers up on the roof. You can kind of see them. Hopefully they show up, but there's some speakers there. Sometimes the camera gets a bit dark and you can't see things, but anyway, lots of speakers. More storage in the doors, more storage in the bin. Going to the rear of the vehicle, it's got the rear mud flaps. Across the back, you can kind of see it's got the color matched rear bumper as well, the dual exhaust tips sticking out the back. Comes with the trailer hitch. There's your wiring for pulling your trailer. If you want to get the optional cameras, you can. There's a kit there. You can plug this in here, and then that it'll access that camera up front. And then you've got your bigger one here that you can, if you want, like put a whole bunch of cameras on your rear trailer, then you can get like a surround view camera system on your trailer as well. So those are extra kits that you have to buy. You'd have to order them through parts, but we can do that for you. Got a backup camera built into the handle there. In the box, this is the spray and bed liner that was added, so you can see this is something that was done after the fact, but it really helps protect the box. This is super heavy duty, so you're not going to scratch your box up, that sort of stuff. It does have some LED lights, so you can flick those on so you can see what you're doing at nighttime. In behind here, there's a motor, and I'm going to show you what it does. What you do is you just press this button here, and that motor is going to engage, and it closes your tailgate for you, so you don't have to hold it. You can also use your remote if you want to activate that. There's a touch button inside on the screen that you can use it as well. They also come with the fender liners, so that's what these plastic liners here are. Some of our competitors, that's optional. You got to pay extra to get it. Really good idea to have those. They stop the rocks from beating up on the inside of the box and then giving you like those little paint blisters. If you look at like some of the older Fords, they'll have these big dollars. They look like loonies where the paint's all missing. That's what it's from. It's from the rocks pinging on the inside, cracks the paint, and then the paint all just flakes off. Hopefully with those liners you don't have that problem because the rocks can't get to the metal to ding it. In the back, we'll just kind of take a quick peek here. You can see the more speakers, more storage. This seat flips up as well, like we looked at the other side. So you can flip that up. You can flip that out of the way. You can make yourself a nice flat low floor. I've even seen guys flip that back, throw like a foamy down on the ground, on the floorboards to sleep there if they have to. I mean, if you have to in a pinch, you could do that. Power sliding rear window with rear defrost built right in. So there's a button on the overhead console. You just can slide that open and close. Kind of handy to have. Like if you don't like using your air conditioning, you can kind of crack that a little bit, open the driver's window, and then when you're driving down the road, it'll suck the air in the back window, and it'll come in over your right-hand shoulder and go out the driver's window. Just makes for a nice cross breeze. It comes from behind. Makes it a lot more comfortable. The other thing is if you're hauling something long, like say you got to buy a piece of trim, and you need to put it in the box, and it's like 12 feet long, you can kind of open that window and then just lay it inside the cab, and then have the rest of it kind of hanging out over the box. So that way it's not sort of hanging out in the middle of nowhere. Inside, we got power windows, power locks, power mirrors. The mirrors do fold if you press the button here. You can kind of see them zip it in there. I'm going to press and they're going to flip back out again. So that's handy if you got like a tight parking spot or something you're trying to get out of. You can kind of fold those in, or if you park in your garage or something like that. Power windows, or power seats, power recline. Also has power lumbar here for your lower back. That just pushes like a little airbag in there. Make your seats a lot more comfortable. Inside, let's fire it up. I put my foot on the brake there and we'll fire it up. Automatic headlights, so as soon as it's dark enough out, your headlights are going to automatically turn on. It also has fog lights, rear cargo light. We can flick that on in the box. This is your dash brightness for your speedo cluster, and then this is your dome lights inside the cab itself. So this is this is your ambient lighting. Sorry, this is in your footwells, that sort of stuff, and then this one is for your dash, like your tack and stuff like that when you're driving at night. Power pedals, you can push this forward and back, push the pedals further away or get them closer to you. So if you're a little bit shorter, you can use that to kind of pull the pedals towards you, and that way you can get a little bit further away from this airbag. So it makes it a little bit safer in an accident. Steering wheel, they got a tilt. You just drop a lever down here. This one right there in the camera, you can kind of see it. Push that out of the way. Now I can tilt the steering wheel up and down, and I can also pull it in and out. So I can get super comfortable like that. Makes it a lot more comfortable. Press button screen there for accessing the dash cluster. You've also got access here to your drive modes. You can use these to change from, I have to show you here, I guess. You got the snow mode, tow mode, sport mode, off-road, automatic. Automatic's probably we're going to leave it 99.999% of the time, and it'll just basically engage it. And if you need 4x4, it'll activate it for you. If you don't need it, it will leave it off. That kind of thing. so you don't really have to play too much with those. You just drive. But if you are driving in deep snow or deep mud, you may want to flick it to the other setting because it's just going to make things a lot better. If you're driving around in deep muck and mud, it'll shift better. It'll just give you better performance characteristics when you're doing that. Digital dash, totally customizable, totally programmable. I'm not going to sit here. I could probably do like a 20-minute video just on this dash cluster alone of all the cool things you could do. But needless to say, lots of screens, lots of info. You can change the layouts. It's customizable, which is really cool. I can change how there you go, if you just want like just the speedo, no gauges, you can go back to it if you want. All kinds of cool stuff that the guy can go in there and access. Oh, this is one cool thing. I should probably point this out. You also get nav in here as well. So if you send your nav, like we looked at the far screen with the nav, if you send it to the middle, it'll actually come to this one too. So you can have your navigation instructions on 3 different screens all at the same time. If you still get lost after that, well, I don't think anybody can help you at that point. You're on your own. Adaptive cruise control. You can turn this on. It'll set the distance between you and the vehicles in front of you if you use this cruise control. And then what it'll do is as you gain and get closer and closer, it'll keep that set distance between you. It makes it for a lot more comfortable drive. You can also use this one here, which is just your, which is normal cruise control. You just activate it by that, and it'll just work like normal. Gear limiter shift. If you want to shift up and down, you can by pressing these buttons. So you can use it to go from an 8-speed, 7-speed, 6-speed, that kind of stuff, and use that to downshift. You got 2-wheel drive, 4x4, 4 high, 4 auto, 4 low, so you got lots of different settings for that. Basically, 2-wheel drive is what you're going to want to use on dry pavement. That's 99% of the driving that you're going to do. Use auto 4x4 if there's a little bit of snow on the roads, a little bit of ice, you're not sure, it's got some dry pavement and then some lousy pavement. That's when you use 4x4 auto. It does hook up the front hubs, so they're spinning at the same time, so you do burn a little bit more gas when you're in that mode than you do in 2-wheel drive. But it's a lot nicer to drive. And then you got 4 high, which is for off-road driving, and then 4-wheel drive low, which is for serious off-road driving. We can also disable our start-stop through there if we want to. Touch screen, once again, I'm going to try to change this here. We're going to go to Vehicle, and we're going to go to our Settings and Display. We're just going to make this dark. I'm going to turn the screen from being white to being a dark screen so you don't get that pinkishness to it. Up top here, you've got your navigation and your stereo down below. These, once again, same thing as all the other digital dashes. They are customizable, so you can add a widget if you want. You can put your radio up here, and then like down below we could add, say, I don't know, our heated seats, say, that we're always using. So now we can turn our heated seats and our heated steering wheel off just by hitting those, changing the screens. If you don't like the screen, you can delete it. You can do all that kind of stuff. So it's totally customizable. On this side, we've got all our temperature controls, so we can use these as buttons rather than accessing the touch screen to change the temperature. We can just use these to move the temperature up and down. Same with the passenger over there. We can also turn our lane keep assist off, so if we're driving down the road and we don't want the truck to help steer us, keep us in our own lane, we can disable that safety feature just by hitting that button. I normally leave it on. It takes a little while to get used to it, but once you do, it's not too bad. I usually turn it off in the wintertime. I don't like this truck trying to steer when the roads are icy. I prefer to do it myself. Personal preference. Media, this is all your stereo inputs, AM, FM, Sirius XM, satellite radio, USB ports. You can also pair your phone up, use Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all that kind of stuff. So tons of ways to get music playing in here. This is just a bigger touch screen of your heater controls. So you got your temperature. You can slide this up and down if you want, increase and decrease the temperature settings. You can also turn your heated seats on through here. We can turn our ventilated seats on through here. Ventilated seats, there's just a little fan underneath the seat, and it kind of blows kind of cool air through those little holes in the leather we looked at earlier. Kind of cools off your bum when you're sitting on it. I tend never to use the heated or the cooled seats myself. I use the heated seats a lot, though. I do like it. The cooled seats, not as much. But I have talked to guys, if they wear coveralls and heavy clothing, they really like those cooled seats in the summertime. Trailer brake controller, so if you're pulling a trailer, you can engage the brakes through there, and you can adjust your gain through this. This is a little bit bigger screen. This is the 14-inch, so it's a little bit taller, so it's higher than the standard 12-inch screen. Just get a little bit more room and a little more stuff on there. You can also turn your park sensors off and on through here as well. Those are those little circles we looked at in the bumpers. So say it's beeping at you when you're backing up, we can just turn it off by accessing it through there. A couple of USB plugs to plug your phones in to charge them. It's got 2 heated RAM charger pads, so you can lay your cell phone in here, and it'll just charge your battery as long as it's a new enough phone. I think you'd have to have a pretty old phone now for that not to work, but it does charge a little slower than the plug-in cord, so I still like to use the cords, but if you want to, you can just tuck them in there. A couple of cup holders, little coin holder here. This is removable. If you want to take it out, you can. Slide that back. You got a ton of storage down below. It's got a little mat in here. You can take that out. Center console. It's got a nice little RAM logo head in the thing, and nice cover. Inside, you could flip it up. Lots of storage underneath the seat in here for your odds and ends. Overhead, I just want to show you a couple more buttons. We've got a place here for your sunglasses. We can open and close that sliding door window right from there. And then we can also pop the tailgate open if we just hit that button. And then, of course, you've got all your lights and all that kind of stuff. If you want to turn your dome lights on, your map lights on, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so like I said, this is a real quick video. I try to make them as short as I can. Sometimes these things drag on a little bit long. But if you're looking to get yourself into a cool truck, the Sport is just an awesome package. It's probably the #1 selling trim level that we have. And everybody just loves these trucks. They're just a joy to drive. So particularly with this new Hurricane that we've got in here, I mean, you're over 400 horsepower, lots of jam. They're just a great truck. So we invite you to come down, take one for a spin, and we'll send you home in a new Dodge truck. We hope to see you soon.